This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. And now let's check in and see if CHARLEY-K1GZL is on frequency to bring us up to date on the latest 40-meter band propagation. Charlie's QTH is up north in northern New Hampshire, near the Canadian border. Charlie, got a copy?
Yes, Jim, you're up to a 9 right now. You're coming up. Very Q5 at rec. Of course, this is May 6th, 2022, and this morning, early, around just before 2 a.m., I had a nice chat with a fellow on the North Island of New Zealand. Then following that, I did work with a fellow near Melbourne, Australia, and that was such a good QSO, even though I had the electrical noise on. It was horrible. He overrode it beautifully, and I ran a low power test down to maybe a tenth of a watt, and he did copy Q5, and I've got this on tape, and I'll play for it if you copy. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I'm copying you about 30 over on Milford, so go ahead, sir.
Okay, here it is. Now, it may act up for the first few seconds, but I hope not. Here we are.
A great takeoff into your direction, as you can see. And definitely get some great signals into the US. But I was beaming 100 QRZ now. I've seen this stage before, but I had a look at my log, and it looks like this is our first contact according to my log here. And fine business. The Icon 7300 sounding excellent, and booming with the Ameritron amplifier. I had a look recently at the prices of the Ameritron amplifiers, the high-end ones, and boy, oh boy, has the prices gone up. Looks like they've doubled now. I think you're sitting on a gold mine there with that Ameritron. But I do recall seeing all the wire antennas and all the wooden masts and everything you've got set up there. It reminded me of being down the bay and seeing all the yacht masts all over the place. So that's interesting. But it is booming. You know, you really are strong here. And compared to other signals, I can see on the scope of this radio all the other signals there, and yours is super fantastic, coming through really strong, and the audio is excellent. What is the cause of the QRM that you're receiving there, Charlie? K1 Golf Zulu Lima, Victor Kilo 3, Mike Hotel.
Line noise.
Half and 5.5. And when you went down to 1 watt, you're a signal 7. And I assume you turned the 7300 down to 0%. That was signal 4, signal strength 4, and when you're on 1 watt, which I guess you had 1%, was signal strength 6 or so, and then anything above that was around a 7 to a 9, and the amplifier on brings you up to 20 over.
Okay, and I switched over to my other antenna, which is firing due south, and the same power, 1400 watts out. And Jim, believe it or not, my signal was the same near Melbourne, Australia, firing, due south on that other antenna. I was hitting S1. I was running the same power into his receiver, as I was on my quad aimed at Melbourne, Australia, when I was only running 1 watt, KC9VKV. I hope you could copy this, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie, perfectly. And so why do you think that was?
So why do you think that was?
Well, the reason for that was the south antenna is firing directly south. So Australia is dead off the side of the south antenna, completely off the side of the west antenna. In other words, completely off the side. Whereas the quad my 20-meter 4-element diamond-shaped wire quad with a Quaggy director out in front of it, which is, of course, half wave, was aimed directly at Melbourne. So the difference between the front and the back was between what I was on 1 watt on the quad and full blast on the quad. I mean, well, barefoot, not barefoot, but firing directly south. Melbourne is right off the end of the antenna, so my signal was no stronger than I was running 1,400 watts on the antenna aimed at Melbourne, which was the 4-element diamond-shaped wire quad. Go ahead.
Roger. Well, mysteries, I would think. It's just, I've often wondered why, maybe my signal to you might be hot, but your signal to me might not be that hot. And it would indicate that the two transmissions are seeking separate paths, Roger?
Are seeking separate paths, Roger?
Oh, yes. Yes. In fact, when I was working Captain Mike, there was a time that he was flying out of Miami, Florida, down into the Western Caribbean, right near Western Cuba, Jamaica, and all the way down toward Panama. And he could barely hear me at all on the one that was good into Australia. He was not copying me worth a darn on my Australian antenna. But when I went to the south antenna, firing about 300 miles east of Miami, it was much better. Even when he was on the tarmac in Miami at that airport. However, he normally flies from East Coast to West Coast, Philadelphia to Sacramento and back in California. And out there, he doesn't hear me very well on the south antenna, like the Australian didn't, Jim.
Roger. Well, it's all a mystery, and it's one of those things that makes radio so interesting. It's just the differences of instead of Mother Nature being a same old broad, she's very interesting, Roger.
She's very interesting, Roger.
Oh, yeah, very interesting. Well, look, I'll let you get others that are coming in, and you're very Q5. You're not too strong today, but it's summertime, daytime absorption, but 20 meters last night here on the 6th of May, 2022, was gangbusters. It was incredible, believe me, Jim. Look, I'll catch you next week, hopefully, and if you want to change this to an hour later, I think you'd have a little better propagation. KC9VKV, K1GZL. There goes my voice.
Roger, Charlie. Well, we'll think about maybe moving that to an hour later and see, come up with some plan of action. We'll talk about it. 73, sir. Thanks for being aboard and all your wisdom and input. This is KC9VKV. Just a reminder, my name is Jim, and I'm better known in some circles as Dr. VKV, and we are recording now live till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We'll post this recording up on YouTube in the next couple of days, so when you go to YouTube, just do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook. And that will take you to our YouTube Qso-Vlog page, where we're currently featuring over 2,100 Qso-Vlog aircheck recordings. This recording will be cut number 1 in that series. And we also have a new series called KC9VKV Highlights. That's Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word highlights on a YouTube search. And these are some of our less technical, more human nature philosophical kinds of QSOs. So let's move along, open the show up. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.